hate puppies. Good podcast.
I feel threatened.
I don't know what I was waiting for just there. Like, I was sitting there and I was like, no, I'm the last straw. Been gone for 1 week. I forget everything. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Inside the Pallet House.
It feels weird.
It does. It does.
I feel out of sorts.
Very much so. But we are still the only podcast dedicated to fantasy football and politics.
That's right.
Wait, no.
And not missing a week.
That's right. Never missing a week. And to solving first world problems. Sorry for giving you a first world problem. You said, oh no, my favorite podcast didn't come out.
Yeah.
That's a first world problem, people.
I hope that they listen to the best of, or not best of, but the classic episode that we thought they would enjoy.
Do you know how I came up with that episode?
I feel like we talked about it, but I don't remember. Somebody mentioned something about it, right?
You and I were just standing here drinking. Well, I was drinking enough for two, and our boy Dave.
Yeah,
walked
that's
by,
right.
And he was like, "Oh man, like vabbing," and I was
That's
like,
right.
He's like, "Yeah, vabbing."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, that's a good
actually,
one.
we'll just release that." Do you know that's our most downloaded episode of all time too?
Is it really?
Yeah.
I listened to all of our episodes. I'm an episode or two behind right now, but I
Send
will
everybody.
I will listen to that one.
So
No, that's what every jerk off listener says when they run into us.
that's what I'm
They're
saying.
like,
They're like, I'm 5 behind.
oh, dude, everybody Sunday for week 1 over here was like, yeah, man, I'm just a couple episodes behind, blah, blah. I'm like, you lying dog.
That's what they do. They're dedicated to the point, though, that they listen in order.
Yes.
Like this is some trilogy that if you don't find out that,
We have callbacks occasionally, but definitely, like, you won't be out of the mix if you don't pay attention to one.
I genuinely do not think so.
No.
There's not a story, a thread that you need to know all the details. It turns out Darth is Luke's father.
Yes.
Who knew? Who knew? That they would have been all out of sorts. Wait, Anakin, wait, what?
What?
Holy
Spoiler alert. We didn't even throw that out there.
No, my bad. 77 spoiler dropped on everybody.
Dude, I've been going back and watching these like classic movies I hear are like awesome as they pop up on these streaming services, and I'm overall batting well under 200, 250. Like I watched
how classic? Like 1950s?
Not that, but like the 70s and 80s and stuff that like they're on the top 100 list, like gotta see this. Like I watched The Jerk, didn't laugh.
Classic.
I watched Deer Hunter the other night, which was supposed to be an amazing film, one of the most influential films of all time. And it was 3 hours of okayness. Like,
Okay. What's the movie I'm thinking of? It's got the inbred who's playing the banjo.
Deliverance.
You watched Deliverance yet?
I saw that, and that does hold up.
That's good.
Yeah, that's a good flick.
Like that one.
I saw that one 10 years ago. Like
That's
it was,
an old
I saw
movie
the
that-
TV version of it, and it was still good.
It catches like because
Oh,
you're
yeah.
like, oh wait, this is crazy. These dudes are being literally hunted.
Yeah, and that could still happen in certain parts of Appalachia.
Yeah.
I believe. Like
Yeah.
I've been to some of those parts, and there's some shady parts. With
Absolutely.
some shady people.
Yeah, the shadiest part being the man with the penis raping.
Yeah,
That's the shadiest part on that dude.
I mean, you don't have to go to Appalachia to have that. I think a lot of prison systems have that.
Especially in Appalachia.
But you don't have the whitewater rafting.
No. Could you imagine that? Be like, you go to prison here. We've got a lot more prison sex than most prisons.
Yeah.
But we have class 5 rapids here.
And an occasional rifle shot across your shoulder.
I mean, that if you think about that, like you get forced into prison sex once. Is it that much worse to get forced into it 5 times if you get whitewater rafting every year?
If you're outdoors.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They get a little sun on your face.
Yeah, I mean, a 6x6 cell, a little confining.
That would be wild. And the judge is like, here's how this is going to go down.
We have a fence around 30 acres.
Yeah, but everybody is just loose and nuts. Like they can do whatever the hell they want to you. So it is a true free-for-all. There are no guards, but you cannot get out.
You're not fully free, but you're not fully incarcerated either.
That would be a very interesting system.
You got camping.
Here we've got guards.
Some friends.
Here we've got guards.
You don't see the fences.
Yeah, you'll never see the fence unless you get to the other side.
Yeah.
But we're not paying attention.
You're going to need more than 30 acres. 300 acres.
300 acres.
Yeah.
Perfect. But it's a total free-for-all. You better get with a click real quick.
It's Australia.
Your gang. There we go. Yes. There are poisonous snakes.
That's right.
There's poisonous everything, but you are free.
Yeah.
There's no health facility. There's no nurses.
No.
There's no nothing. We're not going to feed you.
Yeah.
It's naked and afraid with a bunch of criminals.
It would be a wild prison system.
But like you'd be like, all right, so I can go to people would choose it.
Oh yes, for sure.
If you're bad enough,
if only to try to get out more, right? Like you'd be like, all right, I'm gonna fashion this ladder out of these saplings. Like like you could kind of like MacGyver your way in and out of shit, or think you can.
Okay, they put an implant in your brain that when it crosses a certain point, which is just on the other side of the fence,
you die, you explode,
your head explodes, and you can't get it out.
Okay.
So that's just that is the only system. That's the last bit of money we put into it.
Still better.
I think it is almost better, but you are dealing with absolute crazy. It's Lord of the Flies.
Weather could kill you.
Anything could kill you.
Yeah.
But it's up to you to survive.
Or rape you.
Anything. Yeah. We take all of the worst rhinos.
Yeah, just lions.
It'd be very interesting setup. And I think
I'll tell you what that would be. A hit TV show
that we don't even have to pay for.
I mean,
you think reality TV was cheap to produce? Even better.
I mean, you got to have the capital for the land and the fence and some cameras. The end. On
drones.
Yeah.
No cameramen in there.
Well, you could have some mounted around.
I don't want the cameraman in there. That's the first.
No, I'm just saying they could be. You could have them.
Oh, the stationary cameras.
Stationary cameras. You could remote operate, 30 feet up on a pole or something.
Zoom in.
That's right.
Listen in. Man.
For the rate. What?
No. Oh, no. I thought you were literally about to say for the right moment, and then you just stopped it. I was like, oh, no, that's far grosser. Far grosser.
It'll have to be on a streaming service. I don't think it would fly on ABC.
Oh, yeah, it'll fly on ABC. It just has to come
Maybe
on.
Fox.
Comes on after 11.
Right after an all-new Simpsons.
And tonight on The Penal Colony.
Yeah, there you go. Write that down. That's the name of the show.
Penal Colony? Yeah. All right, I'll take it.
I would watch the shit out of that show.
Yeah. On a very special episode of The Penal Colony.
Not the special one.
Yes.
You know something bad's happening.
It's the worst. But I don't want it.
Once a season, there's a very special episode.
Very special episode, and that's when your favorite person dies or something.
Oh, dying would be a good way. There's going to be some graphic warnings at the beginning of that show.
Imagine the drugs they would come up with.
Oh, yeah.
They'd be inventing all kinds of new drugs. Be like, no, that's an oak tree. You get high as shit off oak trees.
Right.
You just got to process it right.
Be making their own moonshine out there.
There'd be tons of that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you just need anything with sugar in it.
Yep.
You got booze. Man.
You think toilet wine is nice? Wait till you try.
This stuff's the best.
That's right.
This stuff get you so drunk you won't even feel your head explode when you cross the fence.
Or the raping.
Oh, you feel that. That's Billy Bob.
Yeah. It'll help you drown out your sorrows, though, afterwards.
Absolutely. I don't know, man. There's certain aspects that sound bad, but there's other parts where I'm kind of like, that would be far better than being in prison. At least I got a fighting chance.
For sure. There's a mental aspect of being incarcerated that's you think I know it affects me the older I get, like that whole like sad thing, like when it's gray and
seasonal depression.
Yeah, just like meh. Like, but like if you were somewhere where there were seasons and you were outside and like even the winter came, if you like had built a nice survival like hut, like, and you were just out there chopping wood, man, you'd feel like you were still,
doing
thriving,
something.
doing something on your own. Like, because for men, that's the hard part, or for a lot of men, is like the self-worth that comes with that. Like,
You're gonna have self-worth.
yeah,
You're trying to keep your ass alive.
yeah,
You and your gang.
yeah.
Those gangs would be.
You'd have to have a family of sorts, right?
Oh, the tattoos. The tattoos alone.
Oh yeah.
From the lack of needles, but them finding new dyes. Oh.
You'd have to feed them, or you'd have to supply enough like wildlife in there. Because you got to think, like, once they figure out how to kill like a deer, if there's 24 deer in there, they're not lasting long.
No, I don't think anybody's being super smart about it. I mean,
No, they're not gonna like ration.
These are convicts.
Yeah,
They're fucking. They're getting
kill them
after it.
all.
Yeah,
like waste half of them.
and this basically was the blueprint for Australia.
Yeah,
No, just send them all over there.
and let them figure it out.
Figure it out.
And they can't get back.
No, they're just still Australians. Dirty fucks.
That's where they got that stupid accent.
Yeah, it's a hodgepodge of Irish mostly. So
Yeah.
where it starts. So you get that like that shitty British Irish kind of sounding thing, and then it mixes with the Aborigines, and the next thing you know, you're Australian.
Oh, I watched your Irish movie, The Banshees of
Inisherin?
Yeah,
What a weird ass movie that
was
is.
a weird one.
Nice and slow.
Oh
Nice
God,
and
just
slow.
what you look for in a 2-hour flick.
Absolutely.
Just when you think it might go somewhere.
No, it's not going anywhere.
Not so fast,
No,
my
no.
friend.
We're not going anywhere.
And what I really enjoy is a real open-ended ending where it doesn't really answer all of your questions.
Or any.
Yeah, it makes you feel fulfilled.
The only thing I'm certain about is how many fingers that one dude has.
Yes.
And that
Or is missing.
was kind of awesome. I don't want to like spoil it if no one's watched the Banshees of Inisherin.
Well,
I will
let's just throw out spoiler alert.
I will drop out a little spoiler alert.
Because I would like to, like, so the premise is the one guy doesn't want to be friends with the other guy. Right?
And they were best friends.
And they were best friends.
And then one day he just
I
quit.
mean, best friends, they're on a fucking island when there's like 50 people. So it's like, you're kind of friends with everybody, right?
Yeah, but he decided the one dude was just too boring.
Yeah, he's like, you're too boring, you talk too much. Well, the guy that didn't want to be friends, he's a exceptional violinist, fiddle player. And he's like, if you keep talking to me with your stupid shit, I swear to God, I'll start cutting my fingers off. And the guy's like, whatever, dude. Dude lops his finger off.
Yep.
So then the guy feels bad about it. And then he's like, well, fuck that. Let me talk to him again. The dude ends up cutting all his fucking fingers off.
That's the whole movie.
And then it ends. And you never find out really why, other than like the violinist at one point's like, I want to leave something here. And the nice guy, Colin Farrell's like, well, being nice is important. And the violinist is like, no, music is. I'm trying to write a great song. Well, congrats. You got no fingers and no thumb on a fucking hand. So you're both fucking losers.
But you don't need fingers to play the violin. Oh. That's the whole problem.
Oh, Andy cut him off on the fucking violin hand, not the bow hand, where you might be able to get by with fashioning some sort of
You
tape.
just strap that bitch
Just
on
nub
there.
that thing.
No, that's not how we're doing this.
Let's take out the good finger inside where you finger that violin,
Yeah.
and then the movie ends.
Which would be one of my first moves in my penal colony too. We start removing
Fingering the
fingers.
violins.
No, just
Whoa.
taking their fingers off that good fingering hand. I'm a little tired of
Well,
all
I
the,
don't know about that.
I don't know.
And then you're going to turn that hand into something else.
You can't fist me. I know where you're going.
Challenge accepted.
I know where you're going.
You're gonna tell Billy Bob that?
I'm gonna tell Billy Bob all kinds of shit. I'm his bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll tell him whatever he wants to hear. Stay away from me.
I wanted to like that movie so much.
It had all the potential.
I mean, it had great actings. It was beautifully shot.
It just dragged on.
It just dragged on and on and on.
It's no deliverance.
The only finality of that movie was the nice guy, Colin Farrell, has a sister.
Yeah.
And she's finally like, this shit's stupid. I'm out.
And she was right.
And she was out.
Yeah. That was actually the whole point of it. Someone got out.
Yeah.
Which apparently isn't even hard. You just get on the boat.
Yeah, there's like boats coming and going from that island all the time.
And they're like, nah, I'm going to just sit here in this squalor.
And like the dude in the nice guy, the Colin Farrell character, doesn't work. I'm just sitting there going, you don't work? You don't have nothing to do?
He sure doesn't seem
like
to.
This is in the early 1900s. Like, it's not like there's tons of Walmarts and shit around. Like, you got to feed yourself. Like, there was a little store down the road, but like,
you're not getting
everywhere
welfare.
they walked looked like it was miles between any houses or anything.
Yeah,
like you want to go to the pub, you were physically riding your horse and wagon miles or hoofing it yourself down there.
It's kind of romantic. Like, it's beautiful in its own way.
Was beautiful,
you know
but
it's
mean? Like, again, this motherfucker and violinist needs his fingers to live, not just play the violin. How's he gonna? They show him chopping wood at one point. Good luck with that. Fucking one arm.
Yeah, it wasn't the best movie.
No.
It wasn't the best movie.
But it got all these awards.
I get that. We're a weird place.
So speaking of awards and movies, I don't know if you've seen the movie. It just came out on streaming. I watch a movie almost every night.
Okay.
Or a show or a series. Watched it with one of my kids and my wife, the movie Champions, Woody Harrelson, about.
I have not.
Okay, so he's a semi-pro assistant basketball coach, and he's good. Well, he gets in a fight with his coach, like kind of like a who was the guy that used to lose his temper and got kicked out?
Bobby Knight.
Bobby Knight. He's a Bobby Knight type character. They show the Sports Center clip. He shoves his coach. He gets fired. He gets kicked out of the. It's a semi-pro league, but anyway, he gets kicked out. He goes to court. The judge is like, I hereby sentence you to 100 hours with this special needs.
In the Penal Colony.
He gets sentenced to 100 hours of volunteer time with the special needs people.
Okay.
Teach them how to play basketball. So you know where the movie is going.
Yeah, it's The Ringer. He's going to pretend to be one of them.
No. It's a feel-good movie, right? Like, the character, like...
he's going to coach them up.
He coaches them up. They start winning. You know, they make it to the Special Olympics qualifier, you know, Not going to spoil the movie because I would highly recommend it. But I always go check out Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb to see what these movies are about.
Okay.
You know, I like to read the trivia on IMDb, any of the goofs about like continuity, like, yeah. And I like to see what the Rotten Tomatoes is, which for those that don't know, you should know. But it's just,
if they don't know what Rotten Tomatoes is, they're out.
Well, there's two scores. There's a critic score and an audience score.
Yes,
and they're aggregated. So you only have to give the movie. The critics only have to give the movie a C+, and that's kind of like an overall thumbs up. I want to say that the critic score for that feel good fucking movie that literally brought tears to my eyes was like 45, and the audience was like 95.
Well, I tend to actually just go with the audience.
Me too, but my point is about this whole story is and there are articles now where that actual Rotten Tomatoes has been compromised, where like critics are getting paid to make good reviews, right? Like, because it could only happen that way, yeah, right?
Sure.
But like, what kind of an asshole do you have to be to give the movie about the feel good special needs kids yeah, and to your point, it's not like the Johnny Knoxville movie, which still that actually was funny, but kind of had a feel good. It was feel good too.
But like Peanut Butter Falcon actually got great reviews.
Yes. But it's still like weird that movie would get up. And it's always weird to me when the audience is one way.
That's actually I usually take that as like, okay, I might like this.
What if it's the other way?
If the critics love it and the audience doesn't.
I still feel the same way.
I assume it might be pretentious.
Yes.
I'm like, might be a little highbrow for me right now. So it depends on the timing.
But anyway, that's my movie review segment.
I'll check it out. It's called The Ringer.
Yeah, check that out.
Yeah, I'm psyched.
Champion.
Psyched. Just Champion. Woody Harrelson.
Champions.
Okay, I'll check it out.
And then Caitlin Olsen's the female lead from Always Sunny.
Oh, the bird.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, I like her.
And she's funny.
So I was just thinking about the fact that we've been gone for a week just watching movies.
Yeah.
Just took a week off.
That's what it sounds like.
It does. But honestly, the reason we literally weren't around.
We tried.
We did hard.
Yeah.
It wasn't going to happen. Like it was.
It's never happened before.
There's been very good reasons when things have happened like that. I was gone for work all week. You were gone for work the whole time. I wasn't gone for work.
It was literally like shifts in the night we were crossing.
Yeah. And then we finally got back.
We tried. You had last ditch effort decided Sunday morning. That might be doable. Or late Sunday night.
And then I ended up late Sunday night could have happened.
But I was supposed to be gone all day for a baseball tournament, literally from 7 in the morning to 7 at night. So pretty much late night Sunday night was going to have to happen.
And I was in no shape. Let's be honest. Because Sunday over here, opening day of football season.
We had a record turnout here.
This place was packed out.
All 12 fantasy owners showed up. And never happened.
And then 12 other motherfuckers.
Oh, at least. At least.
I mean, it was packed in here.
Yeah.
Beer was flowing. Everybody was partying.
It was awesome.
The games were on.
Food was eaten.
Let me say, YouTube TV, I was very skeptical.
Yeah, I didn't see any problems with that.
Very skeptical of how streaming 5 TVs was going to go in HD out here. YouTube TV did a very good job of making that go. DirecTV had this shit for years.
And you had a lot of problems with DirecTV.
Oh,
from the start to the finish.
Yeah, they never got it right. It was just a reminder that YouTube is just so far advanced. When you try to get a satellite company and then they try to break into streaming, and you got a company that's always been streaming, that's just been, making their product better. They've been fine-tuning
it constantly.
Yes, they had it.
Yeah. And
I started going in like the forums and stuff and just seeing like how other people like on Reddit's experience was. And everybody, it was like across the board, like glowing. Like,
how was the production value? Because obviously we had 5 TVs going, and I was watching 5 TVs, but I honestly, not once did it cross my mind. Nothing jumped out at me that, oh yeah, this is on YouTube. This is going to be different. Like it just looked like every other football game I've ever seen.
It was perfect. Okay. They absolutely nailed it. And then they have advances like on one TV, I could watch 4 games. I can watch 2 games. So they had the split screen.
Did you set that up at all?
Go. I turned it on at one point just to like see. It was so good that no one even noticed.
Oh, wow.
That one of the TVs for half an hour had 4 games on it. No one said anything. Nice. They just kind of looked up and they were like, oh, that looks really good.
Because with 5 TVs, we don't have a lot of issues, but sometimes, especially when you have 20-some people over here, like there's always that one outlier, whatever fan that's like, can you put my game on too? And it's like, well, first off, no one gives 2 shit about your team, but now you have the option.
Even the app, like the Apple TV app not Apple TV, the YouTube TV that I was using, like when I had to change something because the TV over here has to go off of a phone. All of these have Chromecast, so they have remotes.
So that is the one knock, right? You had to buy 4 different Chromecasts.
I mean, I could have downloaded the app into the TV, but it's like, I'd rather have something that is designed for that. And the Chromecast allows me to have all these TVs next to each other, and each remote only controls the TV it was paired with originally.
Yeah.
So there's none of this, like I changed the channel and all of them turn.
Mm-hmm.
Any glitches were just from the TVs themselves. Like I turn it on and then like 3 TVs turn on or turn off. And 3. But it's totally doable because you just go over and hit the button.
Yeah.
Like I was blown away. But even the one that I had to manipulate with the phone on the Sunday Ticket app last year, it was like never worked right. It always glitched. I went right in. I was like, this game, put it on that TV, and it was like instant. And then even if you just changed it, like it would always not work. I'd have to unplug the Chromecast. It was.
Well, I'm excited because we have 2 new rookies in the league.
One.
Which means, well, in theory, we have two
Yeah,
new
but
beer bitches.
the Duke was doing his job.
But we brought back my favorite thing, what made me fall in love with the Man Room Fantasy League. I don't know if we've ever talked about this. Maybe we have.
The tip jars?
The tip jars.
The best.
So when I first met Brendan 13 years ago, almost 14 years ago now, and I started hanging out the old Man Room before it was the Pallet House, the loser was always the beer bitch for the next year.
Yep.
And if you got someone new, they were automatic beer bitch.
Yep.
If someone left the league. Well, there's always a tip jar in the Pallet House, and that's to pay the Pallet House its dues. Let Brendan show your respect to Brendan for hosting, for paying for this stuff, for getting the beer, blah, blah, blah.
It's a real moneymaker.
Goes to the house where Brendan constantly loses money. So, but we have a tip jar for the beer bitch, but it's not what you think a tip jar would be. It is for you to write tips.
To make them a better person.
To make them a better person. Then at the end of the year, they open the taped up sealed tip jar.
Yep.
And they read aloud to the entire league all the tips they got that year.
Yeah, so they can be a better person.
And it's hard to follow, listeners, but I am telling you, it is one of the funniest fucking things I've ever gotten to experience in my life. And after seeing it, not being in the league, I was like, I want that.
Yeah, I want to get destroyed.
I want to be a part of this moving forward, and even if I got to eat it for a year,
yep,
it's hilarious.
Oh, because it's a roasting.
Oh, it's a
roasting.
100% roasting.
Your wife's going to get ridiculed.
Oh,
your kids are going to get everything is on the table.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's nothing off limits, and they are going to tip you hard.
So that rookie has to read aloud, and it's like brutal.
And they're reading it themselves. I love the drawings.
Yes, there's some fabulous drawings.
So good.
One of our Man Room Fantasy League owners is known for a certain style of drawing. He's really upped his game this year.
I would say phallic.
Yes.
That's probably a good way to.
And the rumor is his vein work has gotten
it's spectacular.
Exceptional.
It's like Michelangelo.
Yes.
It's really good.
I cannot wait to see and read these drawings and hear these tips because it is amazing.
I think the Duke was doing a good job of handing out beers. He supplied food. The other rookie was sitting on his ass the whole time, and I've noticed that his tip jar is quite full.
Well, so again, just like real life, right? Like it's the same at work. It's the same with friendships. Like if you're good and you're a nice person and you're working hard and you're doing your job, kind of hard to catch a lot of strays and a lot of flack, right?
Yeah.
So we had two rookies here. One worked his ass off. He brought the food. He had the number 1 overall pick, so he brought the food. He busted his ass. His wife was even here, and he wasn't really worried about making sure she was having a good time. He was making sure beers were full. The other rookie did the complete and total opposite of
yes.
that. And one tip jar in day one
is packed.
Has 10 tips in it, and the other has 2.
Yep. I hope he figures it out.
And what we got to do is at the end of the season, when they both read, we got to go like back and forth, and then it'll just be shown that one guy will run out of tips way before the other guy, and he will just have to keep reading and keep reading.
It's going to be beautiful.
It's going to be phenomenal.
It's going to be beautiful. But that was part of why we missed, it was like travel. And then this week I've been gone again all week.
Yeah, and I've been in class all week.
But unfortunately, it got to the point where neither one of us were in town at the same time. And it just kind of sucked.
I was sitting on my couch at 8:10 tonight in my pajamas, in my house pants, and a T-shirt, fully reclined in my recliner, 5 minutes till kickoff. And my wife goes, "You're not podcasting this week?" And I just went, "Oh shit!"
It's amazing how quick you slide into that. Hey, we don't have to do this anymore.
Oh my gosh! I was like, I go, "We are," and she was like, "When?" I was like, "In 20 minutes."
But you should.
She's like, "I'm so sorry." I was like, "I'm glad you brought it up." I literally forgot. It was out of my mind. It's been that kind of week.
It was a big week to miss last week too. Like there was a lot happening.
Oh yeah.
as far as out in the world.
Yeah.
You know, like I as soon as I saw that poor lady shit all over the Delta flight. On
my gosh.
The way
Yeah,
overseas,
you're thinking podcast material right
that
there.
is clearly like, I was like, oh, well, that's everyone's going to be expecting.
I have
us
so
to
many
be
questions
talking about that.
But I feel like I know exactly what happened.
She just shit all over the damn place.
She was sick.
Yeah.
Was it a she? Do we know that?
We do now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, I don't even feel like we need to tell. I feel like everybody knows it. So like we can kind of, like, it was a very quick story there. 2 hours into a flight, woman runs down the hall, shits on everything. It blows through her pants and ends up shitting all over people. They turn around, have to fly 2 hours back because it's a biohazard.
How awful do you feel for that person? Like, I can't even really laugh at that. We've all been there.
I've never been on a Delta flight where I shit on somebody.
No, I'm saying we've all had the pains and been like, I hope I make it to the bathroom.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't see how her husband can ever bang her. Like,
She's got to have PTSD with planes now, right? Like, can she ever do a flight?
she can't do any. She's ruined. Every time I heard
Like
it,
her pants?
every time, nice. Every time I heard it, I always thought about Ump's fart. Right?
Ump's fart?
Yeah, Ump's fart. There's this guy, right?
Uh-huh.
And he's sitting there in church one day, and he drops this fart, and it's the loudest fart anybody's ever heard, and it just echoes through the church. It's just rah, rah, rah. I mean, he lives in this really small town, you know, so everybody's at church, and he farts so bad that like the whole town just can't even stop. Like, they just start laughing.
Yeah.
They're like, that fart was unbelievable.
Because it's hilarious.
Yeah, so they're and it echoes beautifully in a church, you know. So they're laughing.
The acoustics in the church.
The best.
Made for that.
The best.
A lot of people don't know that.
No, that's originally why I was talking.
While we're here.
And also
Yeah.
the incense that they would swing very much has to do with that. But yeah, so he like farts, and even the priest just laughing his ass off, and they're all pointing as he runs out of the church in shame, and he runs away. You know, he just runs away, and he goes away for a few years, and he lived like a hermit. He travels all over, and then finally one day he's hopped a train, and he realizes he's back in his hometown, and he's like, you know, they've had to have forgotten about it. Like, I wonder if I'll be received like you know, the son that's coming home.
Yeah.
And so he walks around, and he peers in like his old house's window, and he sees the family's doing well, and like everybody's happy, and he's like, okay, you know, like things seem good. And then he like goes to the next house, and he peers in, and again things seem good, and he's starting to get nostalgic for home. And he goes to the next window, and he's looking, and then he can hear the mom and the daughter talking. And she's like, Mom, I think my birthday's coming up, but I'm not sure when it is. And then you hear the mom say, honey, it's easy to remember. It's one day after the anniversary of Ump's fart. And he turns around dejected, and he leaves the town, never to be seen again. And so
I've never heard this story.
So when she shit all over that plane, I was like, she's going to be traumatized forever. It's like Ump's fart.
Yeah.
She did it.
Congrats.
Ump's damn fart. Do we just get a Stu walking in here, or you just been quiet this whole time?
Quiet.
Man,
He's gathering himself.
He held out 30 minutes, never said a word.
How you guys doing?
Best he's
It's like
ever
I
been.
didn't even recognize him
No.
being over there.
It's crazy.
Hey, big ups to Stu, because Stu's been behind the scenes doing a lot of work.
This whole time he wrote that whole
Yeah.
he wrote that whole Ump's fart joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you do to that?
I don't know. I don't know
You
what
broke
the
it.
hell.
He just
broke
broke the damn headphones. He came in and he'll fix
just-
it. He'll fix
Oh
it.
no,
There's
it's broken.
Yeah, there's another set under
It was
there.
already. No,
No, you broke
it's all
it.
right.
All right, well,
We're
hold
gonna
on
go- we're gonna
now.
go-
There's
School.
another set of headphones.
I'll keep it off.
You're gonna have to pay for that. So I'm thinking, all right, I spent $11 12 years ago.
And
Shit, I think I owe you $1.
yeah, how you guys been?
Good, man, good. We're just recapping the week that we missed. So there was the diarrhea chick.
Oh yeah.
Then there was then this week there was the couple who got busted having sex on the way to Ibiza.
Oh yeah, saw that.
Yes, on an easy jet.
I saw that, and I
Doesn't that
immediately thought that flight attendants should be fired immediately. Did
It
you
was
see the video?
It was a flight attendant.
Yeah, you didn't see the video?
I saw that, like I saw the door open.
It was a flight attendant having sex?
No.
Oh.
A couple was having sex, and at least to me, the video looked like.
You know what was the worst part about it? When I was watching the video, I was sitting on the tarmac at LaGuardia.
Yeah. Solo?
Literally in the plane.
Just
and I'm
dreaming.
scrolling through Reddit, and then I see it, and I'm like, oh, what's this? And at the very moment where the flight attendant opens the door in the video and you see the dude behind her banging, the flight attendant comes over my shoulder and checks my seatbelt and looks down, and I'm just looking at a couple banging in a plane. I was like, no, I didn't know this was going to do that.
You were doing research.
I didn't know the video was going to play out that way.
Yeah, so the video looks like it's cell phone video, and you can see like what looks to be a steward. It wasn't a stewardess, a steward.
Well, they're all flight attendants.
Flight
now.
attendant, whatever.
Yeah.
It looked like a man in an ascot. And he is like standing there covering his mouth laughing, like reaching towards the door. And then finally he like grabs it and he kind of jumps out of the way and swings the door open. And like the couple flips their head around, the door kind of immediately shuts and the whole plane erupts. And I'm like, how does this guy think he can get away with this shit?
The worst part about that, they landed. The police were waiting for him and arrested him.
Yeah.
Well, I
You
mean, it's
can't-
illegal.
Why is it illegal to bang on a plane?
I don't know why that should not be illegal.
I get that it's illegal to smoke after.
Yeah. But what danger is the plane in?
Like, what do you care if I can get this done in 3 minutes? Like, give
Yeah.
me a time limit then.
Yeah.
It's illegal to have a marathon session in a
Yeah.
plane because people got to pee.
Which,
But
believe me, I don't think people are.
I
bet
think
you
you're
there's-
trying to get that done as quickly
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
possible.
I mean, but there's probably like some FAA guideline down, small print that says no more than one person in the restroom at any given time.
That room was designed for you to take your pants off in. They were literally doing what you're supposed to do.
No, I think it's amazing because the name of the jet is EasyJet.
EasyJet, yeah.
And we got a couple in the bathroom. But to Troy's point, whether it's a couple or not, invading quote unquote one's privacy, opening up the door
while
and
they're
boom.
naked. Like, I mean, best case scenario, he proves his point that somebody's having sex on the plane.
Yeah.
Cut that off, dude. Just break it or cut it.
That's all right.
No, I like watching him futz with it. You can't tape it up. Oh, now you owe me $1.
There we go. Much better.
So my thing is, best case scenario, your point's proven and they're doing something illegal in there.
Right.
Worst case scenario, dude's just sitting there taking a dump.
That's very true
Like, how do
too,
you,
right?
Or worse, for the man that opened the door, a female's in there.
Yeah.
Then he gets arrested.
Yeah.
But yet somehow, because there was sex, he's fine and they get
Yeah.
arrested.
Yeah, I'd be suing that plane.
So I want to go back to Brendan's point. He said he was watching the video on the plane.
Yeah.
And that stewardess or flight attendant
Flight
is
attendant.
like, excuse me, Captain, we have one to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. This dude's over
For
here
sure.
fantasizing about banging. And he smells like beer.
It says on our flight schedule, you're solo. How are you going to pull this one off? Challenge accepted.
Yeah.
Even easier.
Buddy, I got a plan.
Oh, man.
I know how to throw a 30,000 feet.
I mean, yeah, no one ever talks about that. Everyone talks about trying to have sex on an airplane, but what about just, catching a 3?
People do that.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah. Have y'all ever flown on any of the planes that have the pods and all that stuff?
Yeah.
You know it's happening in there.
Well, the pods don't have complete closure unless you've got, like, if you're some of those crazy ones are full, like, little enclosure.
Yeah.
But the pods are only 4 feet tall, separated.
Yeah, when you
close,
sit
like,
down.
the flight attendant's going to walk by and just look down.
No, but I'm talking about the fully enclosed ones, like the
I haven't been
sleeping
in the-
ones.
I've been in the pods and the really nice ones. I haven't been enclosed.
Of course, dude.
Of course he has. He's a traveling man.
Motherfucker.
Well, you can
business class.
They got the
all the
companies
time.
in Vegas. You could rent the plane. I mean, I've looked into it, and it's like
Of course you
$300 or $400 for
Just
an
rent a
hour
plane to
flight,
fly
and it's
around?
called the Love. It's like the Love flight or something. And it's out of Vegas.
Hold on. You're talking about to
it's literally
join
to
the
get
Mile
into
High
Mile
Club.
High.
Yeah, this is joining Mile High Club, and you can just. I mean,
You've looked into this?
Yeah, why not? I'd rather do it there than a bathroom.
Okay. That's a valid point.
I've
but
never understood the Mile High Club. Like, to me, like, just saying you had sex at 30,000 feet doesn't really, especially like
I don't know, man. Like
the thrill.
You don't know anyone who's done it. So
the thrill of the Mile High Club is exactly what happened on that video. The thrill is almost getting caught.
Yeah, you get away with one.
Renting the plane that has the bed in it. You're just having sex.
So would you just say I've had sex at 30,000 feet, but I'm not Mile High Club because I didn't?
No, I would consider both Mile High Club. Even if you just pay for the flight to go up into the orgy jet.
I mean, but yeah, to your point, that's the excitement of getting caught. That's the whole reason behind the damn thing.
Yeah, that's why sex outside is fun. It's not because the mosquitoes biting your ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not the part.
Yeah, it's sex in a different place.
Yeah, it's not the sand on your junk.
Yeah.
It's the fact that someone could show up at any time.
Yeah.
That's what makes it crazy. They do that at the Penal Colony.
Stu missed our Penal Colony. He'll have to go back and listen.
He'll have to see if he can figure out what the Penal Colony is.
Oh, he'd be
Australia?
Okay.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
He's not wrong. I mean, I'm willing to accept it.
Hold on, let's go to judges. Yeah, we'll give you half credit on that one.
Right. Not bad.
That's a half credit for sure.
Yeah. But so there was a lot of air stuff going on. All body fluids.
Yeah,
all over the air.
Good and bad.
Yeah. So, all right, there we covered off those things we missed. What else? We missed one that. Well, we're at deli time. Let's take a small break.
Okay,
a small break. Oh, Troy, you'll be very excited. I managed to get us 7 different delis, so that we are set for the next.
Is this 4-pack one of them?
Unfortunately, that is the deli tonight. I got 7 different delis from all over, and I went right up through. Like I had like fall beers and winter beers. I was like, we are in the clear. I put them out in the fridge in the garage. Garage fridge died.
Oh,
and they're skunked.
Nah, you better keep them.
Everything went.
We have
warm.
the Allagash Haunted House Hoppy Dark Ale 6.66.
Ooh,
dark hoppy?
6.66.
I see what you did there.
Interesting.
The devil's alcohol.
Cursed by our love of roasty porters, we summons the recipe for Haunted House roasted barley and Black Prince malt cloak. This ale is a gravely dark hue, hopped with Crystal, Nugget, Cascade, and Northern Brewer. Its flavor is filled with the hauntingly balanced notes of coffee malt and a devilish hint of hops. So you were like, you had texted me. You had said, "Oh, Troy, I used that gift card, blah blah blah," and I'm like, "Oh, that's awesome, man." So I turned to the wife. I'm like, "I gave Brendan a gift card," and she's like, "Oh yeah, you gave him that $50 gift card to BottleWorks," and I was like, "I don't even remember having one or giving it to you."
Yeah, so I went up there and they sell individual beers.
But she reminded me, I loaned my car out to a guy who was in an accident, and he was like, "Oh, that's cool, man. Can I take it to Nag's Head tomorrow?" And I was like,
No.
What am I going to say? I'm like,
yeah, no, that car was for
around town, yeah. So I'm like, sure, man.
So you didn't get 7. You got 7 individual beers.
Yeah, because I figured.
I thought you were like, you got 7. I just need a glass.
No,
I think you want more than that.
Give him a fully.
That's good.
I don't want.
Yeah, okay.
I don't want to have a bunch of these sitting around. No, they give him a full beer.
Well, and I like these clear cups because then you can see the beer a little better.
Yeah.
This is not going well.
Wow.
Because now I'm going to have 3 of these
That's
left
half of
over.
it.
Yeah,
you might like it. Are you already judging? You hadn't even touched the can yet.
I'm judging.
I thought you were a professional.
I am a professional. Oh, I didn't expect it to be that good. It's a 4. I was wrong. There, you like that? You like that, Troy?
No, I do know where this is going to end up. It's got a good smell, good coffee smell.
Huh. You know, when I saw the word hop on it,
Hop.
I expected it to be hoppy. Weird.
Definitely coffee.
Here's my first take.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
My first take was,
Yeah, different.
That's different.
A little bit different.
But this is why you have multiple people.
That's right.
Do it.
Because we had said the same thing. That would have been weird.
Would have been awkward.
Yeah.
Okay, I can tell you 2 sips in, the aftertaste isn't for me.
I can tell you on the initial sip, I'm not thinking of hops. I'm not thinking of bunnies. I'm not thinking of anything that jumps. Like
The 666 stands out.
I wouldn't even know if you didn't tell me ahead of time that this was a beer. I'd almost say it was like just a cold brew.
Oh, that's interesting. It is pretty coffee.
It is.
The hops has just lent itself to bitterness and not hoppiness. Yeah. And it really brings out all that roasted malt, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It gets really coffee fast.
I was going to say this is very malt forward.
Yeah. But the hop added a real bitter to it.
It's just straight.
It's weird.
Bitter after you get the hop out, after you get the malt, which I kind of like the initial malt sip.
Yeah.
On the front, but then it's just
real roasty.
Yeah. And then it's like, fuck that, we're going bitter the rest of the way. And it's like, the more I keep sipping it, because the longer you go without sipping more of it, more bitter.
Yeah,
more
just sitting there in my mouth. This is like the Malort of beers as far as how the aftertaste holds.
The mouthfeel isn't bad, but the bitter is fucking bitter.
Yeah.
This reminds me of this night at the Penal Colony. Not too long ago. It wasn't so much
on a night
when it first went into my mouth.
A lot like tonight.
Yeah. In fact, tonight's the anniversary. Yeah. Tell them Large Marge sent you. Yeah, this thing's little.
Before you had shelter and you'd just been dropped off at the Penal Colony.
It was before I'd really joined my gang.
Yeah.
I didn't have my gang yet.
Oh. You were out there on your own, lone rangering it at the Penal Colony.
Yeah.
Well,
I usually don't mind, taste testing the little sipper I pour, and this is I can't wait till I'm done with this.
Ooh, that's a really good sign. Okay, well,
this is a tough one.
It was Allagash, and I like Allagash. All right, I'm going to give it some positive.
I feel like Allagash is. Oh, excuse me. Very, very hit or miss.
They certainly can be. So I'm going to give you some positive notes. If you like roasted, malty flavor, this thing's got it in spades. Really does. Does a great job of hitting that roasted, malted note. Mm-hmm. If you like porters more than you like stouts, this is a pretty good representation of a porter, especially for something that's an ale.
Right.
So I don't even understand how that shakes out. So there's some definite positive there, but it reminds me of like an ESB, an extra special bitter beer that's been mixed with a porter, because that bitter really, really hangs on, and that's where the hops are coming through big time. Not so much in a hoppy flavor, not so much in a hoppy nose. It's really very much a porter, but I think the addition of the extra hops to bump up the bitter, it didn't do it any favors. Mm-mm. And I actually like a dark beer.
I love a dark beer.
And I drink my coffee black, so you would think that I would be into this.
Well, it's funny you say that, because my opinion was going to be, this is for those who like their coffee without sugar in it, like who like black coffee, because I don't fucks with it, but from what I understand, it's extremely bitter, like your straight up coffee.
Yeah. So if you're a dark coffee drinker and you prefer a burnt coffee, so if you prefer a Starbucks style,
burnt adjective fits in nicely.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have thought of that, but it's
very burnt.
It's a very burnty flavor.
Yeah. So, but in the end, it doesn't do enough to salvage the overall flavor profile of this beer, and the added hops just unfortunately makes it linger like an IPA that was done poorly.
Lingers like ump's fart.
This is ump's fart.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go. I don't hate it, but I don't like it. I'm gonna go 2.5, middle of the road, exactly like I said I was gonna do before I even tasted it. But I'm not wrong, and it could go 2.
Yeah, I'm I'm going to grade this one a little high because I like the front end taste. But I'm going 2, and I could go 1.5.
Oh, wow. So you could go even lower.
I mean, if a 2.5, your average run of the mill, ain't nothing to it. This is less than that because the front end that I do like is 20% of the beer, 30% at best. The other 70% just is like, makes you, it just says, fucking forget about whatever you liked because we're back here hanging out in fucking Bitter Street and you don't even remember the fucking good coffee note you liked. That's
so it got a point for the front, the 20%. It got a point there, and it had a point because it wasn't vomitous, so it netted out at a 2.
Yeah, I can't go higher than that. It's just not.
It's fair.
I like I mean, it's cutesy with the whole haunted house thing and the purple and green cans.
The 6.66.
Yeah, I get it, and they're trying, but I think that you know how we've joked about like how brewers kind of try something and fuck up, and then they go, well,
just add more hops.
Well, no, well, I think sometimes they try shit and they're just like, hey, let's roll with it. Let's market it like a shitty movie. Like, this movie sucks, but if we throw $100 million after it, we'll get back 150 and it will net in the plus.
I really wish you'd poured 2.
So it's funny.
I'm gonna have 3 of those
we
forever.
just pour one of those out for the homies.
It's funny.
I hate to do that to the people that I've lost.
Hey, these are on the house. Remember, they were free.
No, these weren't. I bought these.
Oh,
You didn't
All
use
the
your
ones
card?
that you bought. No, those are the ones that
those
are
are the singles. Yeah,
that are sitting in the fridge. That's hot.
so you need a new fridge.
Yes, it's time for a new.
Any
beer
listeners? You got a free beer fridge you want to get rid of? People give those away.
Oh yeah.
fridge. Well, that's how I got that.
Yeah,
one.
get on Facebook.
I mean, I had it for years.
So it's funny with this beer. The more I drink it, like the initial coffee flavor that I was like overwhelmed with, has faded.
Yeah, it gets more subtle.
Yeah, it's getting more, and the ale's definitely coming in. The Allagash is like it's there. I feel it. You can definitely tell it's 6.6. But I've learned to try and when people ask me all the time, what's the beer you like? I was like, well, what I like doesn't necessarily mean you're going to like it because everybody's taste buds are different. But sipping on this, being that it's an ale, the way it finishes, I feel okay with it. I'm gonna stick with it on the 2.5.
Okay.
Because I don't know if I could seek it out, but I could see myself finishing 1 to participate.
Yeah, you'd fit right in at the Penal Colony.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
if you had a 6-pack of this, you cracked one for everybody, I'd drink it. I could get past it, and then I'd be like, not again.
No, and that's why I'm a 2.5 because I can drink it. I'm not gonna.
This is not a ringing endorsement, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say Allagash isn't going to reach out to us and offer to sponsor.
I'm also not going to hashtag them.
You're not going to add them?
I'm not.
Probably a good call.
I think we're good on this one. I'm going to move on. Something we missed on the week we were out that I do think is worth noting is Jimmy Buffett's passing.
Oh yeah. Damn.
I do think that was a bummer. I thought it was interesting. At least it was Labor Day weekend, end of summer.
Pretty fitting, right?
Yep.
3-day weekend. Come Monday.
Yep. I mean, it was okay, like as far as like timing, but I hated to see him go.
Too soon. Really too soon.
I'd seen him a bunch of times.
I've seen him once
with
you.
Yeah, that was good. I'm glad we at least
Yep.
got you to that show, the coldest Jimmy Buffett show ever.
Yeah.
Where was that at?
Still a blast.
It was down in Virginia Beach, and it was
late.
but it was in April, and it was just one of those April days that was not spring.
April nights, like the day was beautiful, and then or the day was tolerable.
It was windy
Yeah.
though. It was unfortunate, but we partied our asses off.
We found a way to have fun.
We had a blast. It was Jimmy Buffett. I'm glad you got to see him.
Yeah.
I've seen him a bunch of times. So my first indoctrination to Jimmy Buffett, my brother took me to a Jimmy Buffett show at what at that time was Nissan Pavilion, and he was like, you gotta see this guy. And I'm like, I mean, I've got the CD and like, I've heard all the stuff, but what's the point? And he's like, trust me. And so he drives me up there, and I'm in high school at the time. And I get up to this show, and I remember just being blown away at how hard these old people
went after it.
were partying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was like, if this was a high school party, I'd leave.
Yeah.
I was like, this is ludicrous. Like these people are getting way fucked up.
Yeah. How
And
many
then
how many cc's on that gas powered blender?
Yeah, no, it was insane. And I remember there was this good looking older woman, right? And she kept coming around and she's chatting me up, and I'm like, all right, like, hey, these drunk old people are kind of all right. And then she pins me against her car.
Nice.
And she says, I got 2 tickets on an EasyJet.
Basically.
Not paradise.
She pins me against the car and she just starts kissing me.
Oh,
and
damn.
I'm just like, oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, because being a high school boy, like you're used to being the like aggressor, the one like girls don't come up to you, women don't come up to you, and like
no, and she was a hot woman, right?
Yeah.
And so she comes over and she fucking pins me against the car and starts making out with me, and I'm like, yes, Jimmy Buffett, like okay, like the whole thing was like she was like, you should take a shot, and I was like, oh well, I'm a little concerned about how much the alcohol. I don't know if I should be drinking. And then she's like, take the shot, and I had the shot, and then I was like, well, I am feeling a little better. This is very interesting. Music's pumping. And then she pins me against the car and she just starts making out with me. And I was like, this is fucking great. And then we finish up like a little makeout session. Nothing crazy, you know?
Yeah.
And then she goes and gets another drink and hands me a drink and then proceeds to tell me all about how her husband's at home with their special needs kid. So he couldn't come. And so she's cutting loose. And I'm like, you fucking bitch. Like I disliked her very much.
And that's for those that don't know you, that's kind of a point of contention.
I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah.
Never have been, never
No.
will be.
Yeah.
And now she's making out with me and she's feeding me drinks. And then she's telling me how her husband's staying home with her special needs kid and she just needed this break. And, you know, she's so happy
make out with a
make out with a 17-year-old
younger,
kid or
yeah.
something. I'm like, oh, this bitch is crazy. I was like, okay, these people are nuts. And I remember going back to my brother and I'm like,
When's the next concert?
That chick's
Yeah.
that chick's married and has like a kid at home, and the dad has to like, you're taking care of this kid, a special needs kid, and like, what the hell?
He's back home like, I'm glad Honey Bunny's getting a night out to like cut loose and have a little fun. You know, she's been working hard, taking care of our special needs child, and she should get out there and enjoy a good concert. Nice, wholesome concert. Maybe have a land shark or two.
Maybe a land shark or two.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe actively try to get a 17-year-old's dong out of his pants.
Maybe a little statutory rape and contributing to the delinquency of a minor on a fucking Wednesday night.
Why not?
Yeah. I remember thinking, I'm like, well, I know why the kid's fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you're drunk.
Yeah.
And then I remember like we're going into the show and there were these dudes like passed out on the car, like passed out on the hood of a pickup truck and all this stuff. Like people were just fucked up. And my brother introduced me to the concept of, okay, they just came back out to start doing like the last 2 songs.
Got to bounce.
He's like, now's when we bounce. Otherwise we sit in traffic all night. He's like, here's the beauty of it. As you're walking up the hill, you get to hear it. You get to see it. You get to see different people. You get a whole different vibe. Then when you're going out, you still get to hear it. And I remember we were walking out and those 2 dudes that had passed out on the hood of the pickup truck, one of them wakes up and goes, oh, fuck. Hey, dude, show just started. It's his buddy, and his buddy gets up and they're like, yeah, Buffett.
Yeah.
And they go running into the show. And I'm like, oh, that sucks. Because everyone's about to start pouring out.
Damn.
But that was my first Buffett show.
Nice.
After that, I started understanding the vibe. Because I remember it took me a little while to kind of like recalibrate. And I was like, okay, hold on. That was a blast.
Well, I remember, so my introduction was in high school too. My buddy Mike gave me the Songs You Know by Heart CD or tape at the time. And I had no idea who this guy was. I might have heard Margaritaville, but like I did not know anything else. And I listened to that shit, and I'm telling you, like, that shit resonated with me
Absolutely.
through and through. And then I bought almost, I think he has like 17 albums, but I got like his collections. I got a ton of his stuff, and I know a lot of I don't know all of it, but like, there was a summer of high school where like I was living the Jimmy Buffett lifestyle. Like I literally was like, now I'm getting old. I don't wear underwear. I don't go to church, and I don't cut my hair. Like it was just like khaki cut off shorts, and I'm at the river all summer with my buddy Mike. Like we just were. It was just a party filled summer of
that sounds great.
No fucking responsibilities, like. And I have a buddy of mine who's like a year or two older than me, and he was like, I never really got into Buffett. I don't really get it, and I'm just like, I can't even begin to wrap my head around that. Like.
It's probably the most agreeable music because it's not. Yeah. It's not anything.
It's not. No.
It's
and now all the new country artists are blatantly fucking just robbing his shit, and it all started with. And I like the
Kenny
guy,
Chesney.
Kenny Chesney.
Absolutely.
Like I mean, he literally is like
I'm Jimmy Buffett,
half-sized Jimmy Buffett with a country twang. Like, and it's blatantly obvious to me, but everybody else is like, I love this country music. I'm like. Have you heard of Jimmy Buffett? Because that's what he's doing.
Well, it became the thing for country artists to.
Yeah, oh yeah. Now a bunch of them do
when
it.
Alan Jackson was able to get in there with 5 o'clock somewhere, it was all of a sudden like, all right, now Kenny's going to do it. Like everyone wanted a Jimmy Buffett song.
But then the funny thing was, what's his name? Jimmy Buffett turned down Garth Brooks when he wanted to do his.
Really?
Yeah. I can't remember the song.
Oh, he did that one.
Shit, I can't remember. But
it's bars in the title. I know what.
Yeah. But he turned him down. And
dive bar. Was it dive bar?
No. Oh God, it's about a drink. It's another. But
2 pina coladas.
Yeah, 2 pina coladas. He had asked Jimmy to collaborate with him on that, and Jimmy said no because I think that Garth was too like whatever mainstream or new country. But in this, it's funny that you. Like I've been to, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 Jimmy Buffett concerts, but nowadays I've been to 5 or 6, and I've seen a transition in the
5 or 6 what
concerts for Zach Brown.
Oh, okay. Thank you for
sorry, but so like
I didn't know we were talking about Zach Brown.
I've been to that, but what I'm saying is I think this upcoming next 30 years is I can see
Zach Brown
Jimmy's crowd. Like that type of crowd that's all over the place. It's easygoing music because Zach doesn't just play like he's not just country, and he was a great relationship with Jimmy Buffett, and they collaborated on a couple things. But you go to his concert, his music is all over the spot when it comes to different styles, and I can see him kind of picking up the.
He'd be a good one to do it though because, he did Toes in the Sand like right away. That was very early in his career,
and he's really. Not doing he's not the new country.
No. Zach Brown is remember, even Chicken Fried has become an anthem.
Yeah. Well, Jimmy Buffett coined his music as golf and western. Like, like it was kind of like, hey, I am country, but like I'm island country, like,
right.
And I mean,
dude.
It is kind of fitting he died on Labor Day weekend, the 3-day party weekend. It's kind of fitting he died from skin cancer. Like,
when I found out it was skin cancer, I was like, oh, well, that makes total sense.
That makes either that or cirrhosis, right? Like,
yeah, but skin cancer is a lot. You know what I mean? Cirrhosis, you're like, damn, man, you didn't hold it together. Skin cancer, you're like, well done.
Yeah. Because it was pretty. From what I've read, it was quick.
I can tell you what. If you haven't read his books, and he's written a few books, and he's written fiction, nonfiction, like they're all good. I have them
I've read Where in the World is Joe Merchant?
Great book.
That was fantastic.
Tales from Margaritaville's good. Of course.
Haven't read any of the others, but I remember reading that one.
That's a novel, and this is a great novel.
And it changed me a little bit. I was like, oh, okay, there's a whole world down there. And then I started fantasizing about that lifestyle and doing that more so than the music ever made.
He was more my Marley to you, like like people like
I celebrate
associate Marley like with sitting on the beach, and I've come around on that. Marley was a little much for me in like the high school years when it was like the trendy cool thing. Yeah, like I can appreciate it in a certain setting, and I can appreciate Buffett more in certain settings. But like I remember working as a mechanic and in the wintertime in coveralls, freezing my ass off on a concrete floor and throwing in Buffett and just it took you away. And I heard someone memorialize him like that. Like his music was like everyone that liked him. It was like you could just pop in his music and you felt like you were on a beach. You were to your point, Brendan. You were fantasizing about being on a Caribbean island, like going on these adventures with him because he lived a lot of those adventures. Like
hence the skin cancer.
Yeah, I mean, you read like A Pirate Looks at 50, and you see and you hear about some of the stuff he's done. Like you're like, holy shit! Like I mean, he was an avid aviator. Like flew seaplanes and shit. Like I mean, that's
that whole
badass.
Jamaica Mistake song was about him almost getting shot out of the sky by Jamaica. The Jamaican government was like, nope, this plane hasn't properly called in that they're coming. They started shooting at.
I can't tell you how many. I mean, I knew 2 or 3 people. Well, I would say there was a lot of parrot heads when I was in high school, but like the license plates were all over the place.
I never wanted a Jimmy Buffett license plate, not because I didn't want one.
Well, not the actual logo one.
No,
like
I'm
people
talking
just
about,
writing.
In Virginia, they have the one. It's got literally parrots on it.
Yeah, but this is before they had the parrot.
That always made me think like, if I was a cop,
what's going on?
And I was like running the DUI checkpoint,
like when you see the custom plate that says like just one more
or tipsy,
yeah.
Like you see some stupid shit come through. I'd see the Jimmy Buffett license plate, and I'd see it 3 cars back, and I'd be like,
silver bullet.
You can go.
Yeah.
Why don't you turn over here? Because I got a quota, and I'm just hedging my bets. Like I just always thought that was a bullseye. It's like a tramp stamp of license plates.
Well, that's what my girlfriend has on her license plate.
Tramp stamp?
God, in stereo? That's amazing.
I mean, you fucking teed that really high, dude.
No, just one more.
Oh, she does?
Yeah, that was
shit.
That was her brother's favorite saying.
I didn't
she put that on the license plate.
My mom's boyfriend.
That's on her license plate right now
because of her brother. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Do not ever let her drive drunk.
Okay.
No, but I mean, like, that's good advice for everybody. But
I did not know that when I said that.
I thought
that's
it was
the
like
funniest part.
I thought you may have mentioned because I drove her car to the man room last Sunday.
No, my mom's boyfriend used to say that all the time. Like, we'd be at the bar and he'd be like, "Well, I'll have just one more." Like it was like his call sign. Like they always, like every time he was getting ready to leave, they're like, "Just one more." He's like, "Okay." Like it was, kind of like his thing. And I'm like. You see that, and not just that one, but there's other ones that say things like that. And I'm like, again, to Brendan's point, like, if you got Coors on there, like, you might get pulled. Yeah. Like I see Jaeger, or something like that. You're like, you're definitely drunk.
Yeah, you're getting pulled over.
Yeah.
Salt shaker.
Yeah.
Man, don't do it.
Fins up. All right.
Fins to the left.
Come over here.
Yeah, pull over to the side of the road.
Are you profiling?
We're gonna.
Hold on. You know where the station is? Just follow me. We'll just cut out the middleman.
Yeah, you know where it is. Your regular order, Mike.
Some gas.
I don't want to have to call and get a tow truck out here.
Yeah, just I'll text your wife. She'll come get you in the morning.
She'll know.
Yeah. Hey, we got Mike. Fins up.
We'll hang the keys across the jail cell.
Yeah, always. But I'm very bummed. I was very bummed to see him die. And I know we actually make fun of a lot of times when like someone passes, and then all of a sudden everyone crawls out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
Like, I was such a fan, but like Jimmy Buffett is pretty universal.
Yeah, because it was
some actor you've never heard of. And it's like,
that
I'm crying over here. Like what?
Yeah,
it's like he was
like Shia LaBeouf died.
Yeah.
Oh, Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
No, Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
Wait, who?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you never really think about it. Because I was like, "Oh, this is awesome!" Like I went and saw him last summer, and I was thinking to myself, and this is before, I was like, "Oh yeah, my daughters are getting to the age where I definitely would like to take them to a show, then let them experience like when you were 17. They're definitely of the age, and it's a missed opportunity."
I'm waiting for my kids. We started with movies. You weren't here, Stu, but like, I want to get my kids to start seeing the movies I really liked, and I'm like. I've been keeping everything like under PG, and now we're getting up into PG, and I'm kind of at the point where I'm just like, fuck it, let it all fly. Because I was watching that shit at their age.
Yeah.
I mean, I was watching all the rated R shit. Like,
I was quoting Cheech and Chong at like 7.
Stand By Me is up on Netflix now, and I'm like, boys, y'all got to watch this. And I was showing them, the Netflix trailer, and my oldest son's like, it's rated R. And I'm like, what the hell is it rated R for? Because
there's a dead body.
I know,
no,
but like,
back in the day, if you said the F word one time, you got an R rating.
Because back in the day, like, Airplane had boobs in it, and it was like PG. Like, it wasn't even PG-13.
A couple years back ago, I let my girls watch The Great Outdoors, and that movie today wouldn't get a PG rating; it'd be higher.
Yeah,
a couple years ago, my kids have seen The Great Outdoors since they were.
Yeah.
My girl's favorite movie, from day one, is Princess Bride. They wore the hell out of that VHS tape.
Well, that's a great movie, and it's good for any age. So, yeah, my kids have seen that a million times, too. They actually know Wesley. They know Carrie. Eels.
So,
Wesley.
Yeah,
that's what I'm like,
actor,
that is? They're like, yeah, that's Wesley. We were watching something the other day, and he was in it. I was like, that is?
I had to. That's actually on. I've got a list of things that are divorceable for my wife.
How long is it?
It grows longer.
It's a living list.
Yes,
like not things you are going to divorce her if she does. These are things she's already done that you're like.
And one of them is she hates The Princess Bride.
You're taking that to the lawyer and be like,
because I think that's actually objectionable to the point. She hates The Princess Bride.
How is that feasible?
I don't understand. And my kids, they saw it because one weekend my wife was out of town.
Yeah,
and I was like, okay. Now that mom's not looking, let's do something crazy. We're watching The Princess Bride. And we watched that, and they were like, this is like the greatest story ever. And then when she came back from her girls' weekend, they were like, we watched The Princess Bride. And she was like, I hate that movie.
There's got to be a backstory. You can't just hate Princess Bride.
She just says she hates The Princess Bride. Like when she said, I hate Monty Python movies, I'm like, I get it. It's not for everybody. Yeah. It's still a divorceable
The Princess Bride is for everyone.
It's for literally everybody.
Or is she like the...
But I'd want... If you're going to tell me, honestly, if you're going to look me in the eye and say you hate that movie, you better have a top 10 list of why you hate it.
There should be a reason.
My uncle had 6 fingers, and that shit's offensive. Or something. Like, you got to come at me with something.
My dad's name isn't...
Or is it one of those things like, I've heard people say, oh, I don't like that movie because everybody else likes it.
Well, that's like... So I've never watched Titanic, and I never will, because it was so big that it started to just bother me because I hadn't seen it.
I didn't see that movie. It came out in the mid-90s.
Yeah.
I saw it in the early 2000s, and it was garbage. It is
garbage. I don't need to see it. The boat's going to sink.
Yes.
I know this.
And the love story makes no sense.
No.
Some homeless dude and some rich chick just decide to, who's engaged, decide to have sex in a car on the boat, and it's like the most romantic true love story of all time.
No.
Like, Pretty Woman's more fucking realistic.
Both whores.
Yeah.
And both somehow make it out.
Whore, one should be whore in L.A., whore on a boat.
Yeah.
Boats and hoes.
Boats and hoes. Would have been a better name.
Yeah.
And that's the formula for an Academy Award.
Yeah.
But yeah, that bothers me that your wife. It bothers me that your wife.
But you see, that's why it's on my list.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is.
Do I even want to ask?
I don't know, but I feel
other
like
list. What other things are on that?
It's just weird shit like that. Where I'm like, when I hear these things, I'm like, hold on.
Are you an alien?
Universally accepted.
Yeah.
So that's fucked out, and I write it down.
Yeah, because we all have things we love that you're like, I get it. I get why people like this, and I get why I don't, and vice versa.
Yeah, I love Widespread Panic. She does not. That's fine. Yeah. That's not for everybody.
Well, it's our whole Pearl Jam argument, right? Like, I understand why my generation loves it. I do not.
That's okay. I find it to be a little more objectionable than like the Monty Python stuff. But I get it.
Yeah.
Princess Bride, she's literally the only person I've ever met who's like, I vehemently hate that.
I've seen that movie 50, 75 times, and I'll still sit down and watch it again.
Yeah, it comes on. I'm like, oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Go through that.
You can probably find it on at any time.
So quotable.
Yeah.
All the characters are great. Like, there's not even a flaw in that movie.
No, people are always, how many times, every wedding, love,
yeah,
true love.
Yeah.
You hear it. It's just
I mean,
I know that you know that I know that you know.
but is there a bad Billy Crystal movie?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Probably City Slickers 2.
City Slickers 2, and the one where he was a ref.
A basketball ref.
Basketball ref. But yeah, I mean, like Billy Crystal's in it. I mean, there's tons of people.
He's great. It frustrates.
What's he say? I don't think you're using that word correctly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's frustrating. It's frustrating. Oh,
inconceivable.
Inconceivable. That guy just died, didn't he?
No, did he?
Yeah.
Shit.
Pour one out for that guy.
I won't pour out that haunted house. That's Allagash haunted house.
Might bring him back. 666.
Okay. Then he comes back as evil.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's inconceivable.
Actually, the one flaw in that movie just popped in my head. There's
the way
one
the rodents
flaw.
were done?
No. To the story. She didn't know that was Wesley. When he came back,
until he said, "As you wish,"
as he was Drip Pirate Roberts,
right.
and all he's wearing a Zorro mask and all black. She never saw it. Kicks his ass down the hill, and then he's like, "As you wish," and she's like, "Wesley, I never once thought about that could be Wesley." That's probably the only flaw in the movie.
Okay, not enough to hate it.
Oh, come on. I'm nitpicking here.
Yeah,
we have to.
I'm fine-tooth combing this bitch, but that is a perfect movie. In fact, I'm going to look that shit up because that shit should be 100 on Rotten Tomatoes.
I bet it's pretty damn good.
Have you seen some of the documentaries behind it? Like the story itself? Like one of the things I watched in a documentary about it was the fact that Andre the Giant was in such bad physical shape, they had to use wires on the princess. In a couple of scenes, she falls.
Yeah.
She falls, and he catches him, and all this other stuff. Like all of the big moves that you see him either picking up somebody or throwing somebody or catching her, it was all on wires because his back was trash and he couldn't even lift shit.
They used wires when they held up Montoya because he was passed out, right? Oh no, Wesley. Remember when they had to roll him into the
Yes.
Princess Bride on Rotten Tomatoes. Higher score on the critics.
What do the critics have it at?
98.
Ooh, damn.
94 for audience. But that's damn near perfect on both sides.
Yeah.
Your wife's wrong on a lot of things, but this might be the most egregious.
It's egregious.
Yeah.
It is very egregious.
I will look at her differently.
I understand. In fact, I'd be upset if you didn't.
You understand more that I will judge her more on that than her judgment of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. In fact, Stu's brother walked in here in a shirt last week. It says,
"Yep."
And there's a name
plain
tag.
gray shirt with a name.
My name is Hugo Montoya. And then underneath it says, "You killed my father. Prepare to die."
Yeah.
And she at least was like, "Ha, look, he's wearing your shirt. You gotta love that." And her just saying it, I'm looking at his shirt and I'm going, "No, I get it, and I'm happy." But it was just a gentle reminder.
You're like
that you and I don't see eye to eye on something.
You're like, I really don't.
Next time you run into her, just say, "Prepare to die."
Yeah.
You're like, I don't want to come across this bar and tackle you off the stool you're in.
Yeah,
but
let you be.
I'm kind of feeling it right now.
But why'd you even point it out? Of course, I knew what it was.
Yeah, I don't need to know that. You just reminded me that I dislike you again, lady.
Yeah, and then there was like 5 seconds there of just like, really wasn't into it.
You thought about just walking out and getting in one of your vehicles and just driving away.
Thought about it.
And then coming back as a red pirate, Brendan.
There was too much beer here. I stayed. I powered
Put the
through.
Zorro mask on. She might not recognize you.
Did you guys hear about the kid who died from the one chip challenge?
Yes.
Yeah, I did actually.
But so all I heard was the headline. I didn't hear how or what happened, but I did hear that they pulled it and are giving refunds.
Yeah, it's pulled.
But how has it not happened? It's been around for. I mean, we did that shit a year ago, and it was around for a while before we did it.
I almost put that out as our best of, but then I was like,
Too
it's not
soon.
But I was like,
it wasn't a good episode.
It's not a very good episode though, because that thing ruined us.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, there was 30 minutes there where
just snotting and snorting.
Yeah. And I can't remember.
Maybe some ASMR if that's what you're into.
Who was here trying to? Was it Joe the chef trying to carry the episode?
trying.
Yeah.
Good luck. He was just like, well, I don't know what to do with this. These guys are dying.
I mean, he was set up for failure. He tried his best to like do a live running,
good luck.
Bit.
It was brutal. He's like, these guys may die. So when that kid died, though,
But was it from the heat or an allergy?
no. So basically, in the moment, he didn't do very well. Probably very similar to how we did in the moment. But it was hours later that his body just rejected everything and
Shut down.
it just shut down and he died.
Damn.
And they tried to take him to the hospital and it didn't work.
Can
And
they prove it was on the one chip? Like, how do you prove that?
basically, a lot of people are saying that potentially he had some other underlying condition.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the chip just brought it out. But
There wasn't legalese on that. Like when you get on a roller coaster at Kings
there was
Dominion,
a ton
it
of
says
legalese
like,
inside of that.
if you have neck,
Yeah.
back, might be pregnant, blah blah blah, like covering the bases. Shit.
Bro, it comes in a coffin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The chip comes in a
That's
coffin.
not a good sign.
and the chip is wrapped in plastic.
Yes.
Did it come with a glove too?
No.
No.
But that was one of the most painful things I'd ever done, and not necessarily in the moment.
Yeah,
It was the abdominal pain, and that's where a lot of people get screwed. But I guess every year it has different levels of heat, and
You got to
different things.
change it, right? Like the beer people do. Like,
Yeah, they're
here's
like-
this year's version of it.
We tweaked one little ingredient, or this year's world's hottest pepper. Just is a good batch.
It's one more Scoville.
yeah.
Yeah,
Just one more.
It just turns out that was one too many.
Damn.
But yeah, I mean, I've never been as uncomfortable as when we did that. And that following 48 hours, the first 24 was unbearably bad.
Because what's the warning label on a thing?
Oh,
I mean, it says this.
Yeah.
This you're doing this at your own risk. I don't see how they can. I don't see how they can get like thrown in jail
Yeah.
for this.
But it must have been bad if they pulled it.
I think they were probably like, I can't believe how far this is going.
Well, I was going to say, too, it had to have been on downslope. Like, if it was still upticking, they would have fought that. But I think when I heard someone died doing it, I immediately thought, that's still a thing? Like, because the way these TikTok challenges work, it's like, there's a new one, right?
What's
Like,
next?
yeah.
I figure now's the time to buy them up, though, because
I think they pulled them off the shelves. Like, I don't think you can find them anymore.
yeah, but in a couple years, if you got your hands on some of those,
Oh, check out eBay.
but you know what I'm saying? I bet they're
one
going to
chip.
Stale
cost.
hotness.
I bet they cost a lot more than you paid.
Well, it's like the what is it? When you buy
I know what I
a couple
got.
of the turkey fryers, like a couple of the different brands of turkey fryers. The very first direction when you open up the booklet, it says number 1, sober adult use only.
Yes,
It's like,
and it should be. Those things burn down houses.
yeah, but
But yeah, I wasn't shocked, unfortunately, when I found out the kid had died from it. I was like, yeah,
that happens.
that's
You
about
go to
right.
eBay, and it's sold out.
Sold out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So eBay's probably not even selling.
But hold on. Here's 2 times hot chip challenge box. Oh, that's different. That's not the
hot chip challenge. No one wants
it's
that.
Carolina Reaper. It's in a coffin, but this isn't the one chip challenge one. But this thing, the 2-pack is $45. So that tells you.
Even the bullshit knockoffs cost too much.
I mean, look at the top. It says the Paqui one chip challenge sold
Yep.
out.
Damn.
Yeah, because that thing just got a resurgence from that death.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
And then there's another link with it, and then you click on it, and it just keeps saying sold. It must have been pulled off eBay,
Yeah.
if that's even possible.
I mean, I'm wondering what. Yeah, because I mean,
I
the
mean, you can
ramifications of getting sued or something if you're the one who providing.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
People, you sell. I mean, a lot of things can kill you, right? Like, I mean, honestly.
But eBay sells used stuff. I mean, that's what they do. That's what they
Here's
do.
a half-eaten chip. Go
Yeah.
for it.
You get a dildo that's been used for 10 years.
It's a personal massager, and you said you wouldn't judge me for it.
I'm not judging
Okay.
you.
Phew, man. Gosh, that got awkward.
I just
Did I say that part out loud?
Oops.
just weird.
Just holding it on your shoulder like in that.
Yeah. It's a very veiny massager.
This 7-inch personal massager. Good for your shoulder pains.
It's a going away gift from the Penal Colony.
You're going to need this.
Yeah.
And a lot of batteries.
Wean yourself off.
Yeah.
I got to listen back. I'm missing out on all the good stuff.
All right. So the other thing that we didn't miss it last week, but did just happen. I know we don't like to talk a lot of sports, but I'll be damned.
Oh.
Aaron Rodgers.
Did you see the cover of the New York Times or New York Post?
Dude, I sent that because I was literally sitting in a pizza shop. And I looked down. I was in New York.
Yeah, you said
I was in New York.
Yeah.
And it was like the Aaron Rodgers era started, and it says
8:15
September 11th, 2023. So they even play into the whole September 11th thing on the New York Times, and then they're like, starts 8:23, ends 8:28.
I mean,
September
brutal.
11th. I was like,
brutal.
oh my gosh, but that was wild.
I mean,
that sucks for all of the NFL. That's not.
Yeah.
I wouldn't wish that on someone I didn't like.
Look, I don't like Aaron Rodgers.
Oh yeah, because he's been kicking the shit out of your team.
I'm
for
a Bears
15
fan.
years.
Yeah. I don't like the guy. But I don't like him as an athlete because he owned me.
Yeah.
But
he's
I
also kind of a nut job.
Total nut job. Yeah. But I actually found when he spoke, I found it kind of refreshing that I was like, what an asshole.
And it's a different take.
He totally owns his assholeness.
Right.
He goes after it. So as a human,
he's like, you know what we need more of? Psychedelic mushrooms.
Yeah, it's the off season. Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, so
Let's get weird.
I never minded his weirdness, and I know he's a dick. He's completely estranged from his family. There's skeletons in that closet.
Oh yeah.
There's all kinds of weird shit. But I did not want to see that when it happened.
Yeah.
I was
upset. When you watch it back in slow motion, you can see underneath the sock, and it just kind of goes ding,
just rolls up.
Yeah, I mean, it just little snap. I mean, you can't see it in full speed. In full speed, you just think he just stretched his ankle way too far on the backside. But when they slowed it down, you can kind of just tell underneath the sock it's got this little pop. But 39 years old, he's not coming back.
So there was a bar in Wisconsin, just outside of Green Bay.
Oh, I saw this.
And
yes.
They decided that they were going to put on a hell of a promotion. And that promotion was Jets lose, you win. And they were really putting themselves out there. So they were saying that if you come into the bar
right,
and Aaron Rodgers loses, if the Jets lose.
And this is a Green Bay bar.
Yeah.
Because he's gone now, and that's fucked up, right? That we will cover every tab, regardless of how much was happened, from 5 minutes before kickoff.
So you had to open the tab prior to the game. You couldn't get in halfway into the game.
No, it's just that's when anything you could drink from 5 minutes before kickoff. I'm saying,
did you already have to be in? Could you show up after he got injured and then jump in on the free beer?
Yeah, I'm sure people did. But they just said they said that we would start the any beer that was ordered after 5 minutes before kickoff to end of game.
That's a big gamble.
It's a big gamble, but
because that game wasn't a guaranteed win.
But the Jets were not going to lose. It's Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
The Jets have the great defense. They were like, they're going to win. Everyone's going to have to pay for their fucking drinks anyway.
But it's kind of fucked up that a Green Bay bar would be pushing that when you should want. I mean, from my understanding of Green Bay and the whole state of Wisconsin is they fucking love the Packers. So why would they root? Why would you want to own a Packers bar that's rooting against the Packers?
But he left them.
He left
them.
Yeah.
He left them.
They hate him.
So but still, you're still rooting for him.
Look, this is LeBron James leaves the Cavaliers, and all of a sudden they're burning jerseys outside of the place. This is yours. Your city's son.
I'm looking at it wrong. You're still rooting for the Packers to win,
of course. So you're just like all right, screw you, go Pack. That's where their head is. So apparently, this bar completely fills up.
So I mean, I'm guessing the owner thought this game was a lock.
It was a lock. Aaron Rodgers,
but
of course,
it's not. I mean, everyone was saying before his injury, this was a Super Bowl caliber team because they were so good last year without a quarterback.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yep. So
that's
now,
a ballsy.
So in his move, he's like, because look, if the Jets lose, you win. That's the whole promotion. So the place fills up. Well, apparently, obviously, Aaron Rodgers rolls up his Achilles, and the place goes fucking wild because everyone's like,
it's over.
It's over. The Bills are going to crush them. Let's go. So they started taking shots.
You know, some asshole
Drinking
was
beers.
like, buy a round on me
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No.
for the house.
Everybody started going nuts. And this place, apparently these people got stupid. Like went off. Drank so much beer.
What? Green Bay?
Weird,
Never.
right?
At a bar?
Weird, right?
Watching a football game? The Packers play? Hold on, dude. I'm not even sitting down.
I know. So they drink their asses off, and then sure enough,
Seltzers were flowing.
Buffalo pulls the crazy comeback.
Buffalo.
Yeah, because it was the Jets versus Buffalo.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it
Yeah,
wasn't.
it was Jets Buffalo.
I was thinking. I don't know why I was thinking it was Packers.
No, the
I didn't watch
Packers-
any of this
No,
game.
the Packers
Yeah, it was-
beat the Bears.
That's right, that's right.
Unfortunately, it was a
Right.
horrible day.
Par for course.
And I was watching this. I watched this game in New York.
I was thinking it was a Packers versus Jets game.
No, it was the
so now it
Buffalo.
makes more sense. But still, the Buffalo was supposed to be better.
Yeah, Buffalo is supposed to be
Yeah,
good. But so you got to think when Aaron Rodgers goes out,
yeah.
Buffalo's
So
won.
Josh Allen's lighting that place up.
so everybody started partying like crazy, and sure enough, all these schmucks had to pay
Pay
their
their
tabs. That was a rough Tuesday morning.
As
in
a
Green
Bengals
Bay.
fan, I appreciate it because we got the living shit beat out of us by the Browns. But it hardly made the news because of all the other wild shit that went on in the NFL this weekend.
Crazy
Yeah.
weekend.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, season's over, so I don't even care.
Well,
Bears
I
lost to
mean,
the Packers
and the thing
again.
about what's the two guys, Cobb and the other receiver, that followed Aaron over to
Yeah.
go to the Jets,
Yeah.
and now they're
What
like,
do you do with that? I mean,
they still played, but
I did hear a story that that guy Sauce Gardner was big in recruiting Aaron to come, and they kind of made a weird friendship, and they got real tight, and he was dejected, and
just all upset.
and Aaron, it wasn't to Sauce, it was to another young player, but when he was getting wheeled off, he was he said to one of the young rookies, he's like, sorry, kid. He was apologetic because he was like, I'm supposed to be the saving grace, next next best thing to Tom Brady and come in and win you guys a championship.
Yeah.
And
there's got to be something in his contract because he's supposed to be guaranteed $80 million, and he's not. He played 5 minutes. Is he still going to get paid all of that?
He started.
He started one game,
but did
No, he started one drive.
Sorry, yeah.
Did you see that? I think it was the Packers getting screwed again because the way the trade worked.
Yeah, now they get a
Aaron had
second
to play
round.
70% of the games so they could get a first round pick, and because he's not playing that, they get a second round pick instead of the first round pick.
Yeah,
Oh,
he didn't
geez.
play 70% of the first quarter.
He didn't play 70% of
70 seconds.
yeah.
It was pretty bad. It's pretty bad. But yeah, so
It's
people all over got screwed on that one.
That's a shame because that could be career ending.
I think it is.
I mean, he
think
said
it is.
he's going to rise from the ashes, but is he going to follow the Brett Favre
Be there
playbook
way
and
too long?
Go to the Vikings next.
I mean, it's
I mean, that's the move, right? That's the move. You fail in New York.
You know, the Vikings are like, we love Kurt, but we can get
Damn.
somebody else.
The Jets are cursed.
They really are.
because that's the third quarterback they've done. That's the third time they've picked up somebody that was supposed to be the next savior, and they got hurt in the first game or second game.
There's so much luck in all sports. People, I really don't think luck gets brought up enough.
Well, Andrew Luck's not playing anymore.
Oh, maybe that's why I don't hear about
Yeah,
it.
that's what it is. That's
Not
what it
flying around the NFL.
is. No, it's true. I mean, these guys are all so good
Yeah.
that there is a certain amount of luck.
I mean, every game there's a play, that if it bounces your way, it's great. If it doesn't, in week 1 when Mahomes throws that pick 6 right through his guy's hands,
Yeah.
the guy got just enough to punch it up in the air for the other back to come back and take it to the house.
Perfectly catchable ball.
And Aaron Rodgers, I didn't see the play, but the still I saw, it just looked like a routine play. It wasn't anything
There was
crazy.
nothing to it. There was nothing to it. He's just too old and
Brittle.
all the drugs.
So psychedelics don't make you more flexible?
No. Well, physically,
Mentally, yes.
yes, but it's a physical game.
Yeah.
It's
Physical game.
Oh, it is now.
It's getting less physical every day.
Yeah.
I think there's a
Every
penalty
day.
for roughing the runner. I'm not sure.
Oh, I'm sure they called 15 yards. Achilles, 15.
Well,
Damn.
pour
So-
one out for Rob.
Now, Aaron Rodgers,
Yeah.
I will pour one of these Allagash haunted houses because he'll always be a douche. I respect the man.
Yeah.
Hell of a player.
He can
I did
ball
not-
out.
Did not want that to happen to him. It made me sick when I heard he went out. But if I was going to give him a beer, it would be an Allagash haunted house.
He's
Because-
well deserved.
Yeah, because fuck you too.
Yeah.
Not the injury side,
Just
but all of the ownership of the Bears has been brutal. And now the Bears lose again to the Packers. It was a rough week for me.
so.
And your fantasy team lost.
I believe so, but no one wants to hear about that because
Yeah.
no one cares.
Yeah, my team, my college team lost. My pro team got the shit beat out of them, and my fantasy team shit the bed. So yeah, it was great all the way around for me too.
Fun day.
Yeah,
Well,
I love sports.
Just to kind of transition on that, and Troy can help
You're
me out.
transitioning.
I'm transitioning to
All
help you
right.
let me out. Let you help me out on this. But speaking of sports, M4K is going to have a golf tournament.
I tried to talk about this earlier when I said you've been working hard. Stu's been working hard behind the scenes,
He has.
setting up an M4K golf tournament. It's open to anyone who wants to join.
It's what, October 14th?
October 14th at Windy Hill. If
And
you're local,
believe
check
or
it
not-
out.
Believe it or not, it's a Saturday.
It's a Saturday. You don't even have to
not
take
a-
off work. The
No.
Pallet House crew will be out there.
Now, I was hoping this was going to be an inside the Pallet House fundraiser, and all the proceeds go to M4K.
We changed it.
But I see we have flipped because
All the proceeds still go to M4K.
all the
Yes.
but if you do end up coming from this to show up at the tournament, you need to let them know
right.
that
And we're
you
going to keep
came
track of
on
it.
account of inside the
Import-
Pallet
yeah.
House, and then all of that money will end up getting donated directly to the Inside the Pallet House podcast team for M4K. So we
Right.
don't see any of this money; it just goes to it. And if you don't know what M4K is, then you are a new listener since November, and that's fine. We're glad to have you here. But we raise money every year for children's charities in November, and we've been doing this for about 5 years.
5-6 years now.
As far as
Yeah.
the podcast is concerned, and we've raised a boatload of money.
Boatload, yeah.
I mean, enough to buy a
Boat.
house,
A nice boat.
a nice boat, a bad house.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go.
That's probably,
Well, we were
no,
gonna-
us personally as the podcast.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, last year, in and of itself, we raised
Over 20.
well over 20.
It was like 30 something.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Was it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I quickly forget.
So we were going to set it up to where, like, Inside the Pallet House got the money, but then Stu and I were talking, and we kind of figured out that, like, that might push other teams from joining because they're not going to want to pay to give us the money. So, like, their teams will get the money. So, like, if your team
Right.
push and weight and you have 8 guys, well, you'll get that money
Right.
for those 8 guys. So, doesn't that make more sense to you?
Yeah. So in
No, I think it makes a lot more
Yeah.
sense because overall we can do much greater good.
Yes.
because in theory you just
And-
create the same type of competition.
Yes.
And it's a better tournament.
Yes.
To be honest, I was a little nervous, honestly, about how many people we'd get out there. And so when I heard it was a Saturday, I was like, "Ooh, what's this about?" Now I realize this is great. I mean, there's all of these teams; they're going to come together.
So reach
all
out
get to
to
play.
Inside the Pallet House if you want to play. Go to, looking for looking for it on the M4K page. It'll be posted soon. It's as far as any of these tournaments go. If you're a golf player, this is a cheap one. It's $100, but it's going to have prizes, food. Stu's again been working his ass off. He's getting whole sponsors. He's getting all kinds of dope things set up. So for $100, we get a lot of that money back. Windy Hill is very generous. They are doing us a very big solid and giving us more money than most of these tournaments give back. So you most of your money, you get to play 18 holes of golf for $100, and most of that money will go back.
But let's
to,
let's be clear about the 18 holes though, because I don't want any like hardcore golfers
Oh,
coming
it's
out.
so everything is fun.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
whole idea
So
is
there's a 9-hole course that's a
and then
legit course.
a 9-hole par 3 course.
Yes, which I actually prefer
Yeah.
because I love a par 3, but I also don't want to spend my whole day just doing a par 3. Like I want the driver to
For
eat.
those that don't know, Windy Hill they have golf, but they also do batting cages and putt and video games and go-karts. And it's just an overall fun place to go.
It's a sports complex.
Yeah. So this is all for fun. So yeah, again, it's not a.
But I don't want someone showing up thinking they're going to the Masters.
No, you don't need to show up.
A very nice
show
par
up
three
in chinos and a button up or a polo. Like,
No.
Yeah,
we're here for a good time.
No, this is going to be like drinking, hanging out, having fun.
If you got some wacky
raising
golf
money
clothes,
for kids.
wear them.
Yeah.
I do
all
think
that
this
good
is the
stuff.
kind of tournament that you can show up and like wear whatever you want.
Wild out.
I haven't decided what I'm going to wear, but knowing that this is the kind of tournament it is,
Yeah, I mean,
I'm debating on wearing a suit.
Nice.
yeah, I mean, it's gonna come on out, sign up, play. It's the 18 holes. There's door prizes, raffles. We're going to be doing awards at the end. It's catered. We're going to have barbecue, and there's a live band that starts at we tee off at 1. Registration's at noon. There's a live band that starts at 7. So you can make it an all day.
It's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, and all
And
of
you
the
will get
money,
to
all of the proceeds that are raised will go to M4K Richmond.
Yes.
Very excited about that. But if you let them know that you're with the Inside the Pallet House team, then we're going to pool that money together. And then when we do start raising money, when we find out what listeners are going to join us, growing mustaches, raising money, we're going to take that and we're going to divvy it out amongst our growers so that we all kind of have a nice foundation.
Base,
Yeah, to get us going. So if you've ever been like, well, I've had a hard time getting to that point, you know, if you put $100 in to go play golf, you damn near might get $100 back, depending on, you know, so it could really work out that you can donate then to M4K. So I'm super excited about it. Stu, you've done some good work here.
He's done great work.
Yeah.
We bust Stu's balls a lot, but he's knocked this one out of the park. So pass it around. Let your friends know.
Yeah, and if you need the info and you're having a hard time finding
sign
it,
autographs,
shoot an email over at insidethepallethouse@gmail.com. We'll shoot you additional information if you can't. But I think m4krichmond.org will also have all of that information posted.
Actually, by the time you see this, I will have posted it on our Facebook page too. So the poster will be there.
So you can go to our Facebook page, or if you need that kind of that personal touch, then just email us and we'll get you going. But yeah, we're excited to be hosting it. It's going to raise some money for children's charities. And you do get to play golf and drink beer and hang out. So
definitely,
that's a W.
Winner.
On that note,
sounds good.
Let's shut this.
man.
Let's shut it down. I want to watch the fourth quarter of this game, drink a beer. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I know we missed last week. That's our bad. Life is difficult, but we made it this week. So thanks for sticking with us. We're glad we were able to give some good content. It was actually a lot of fun to get back in here and do this. If you need a mortgage, head over to Screen Door Mortgage. Jimmy will take care of you. He's going to take a difficult situation or what can often be a complicated situation and make it very easy on you, and make sure that you're getting the rate you want and the service you deserve. If you need sunglasses, head over to nectarsunglasses.com and drop Abacus in the coupon code, and you will get 20% off of an already reasonably priced pair of sunglasses.
Shout out to David who bought 4 pairs.
Dave bought 4 per last week. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So, Sean, don't freak out and shut our code down.
Yeah. Like, it can't be that many people getting it. Are you serious, dude? I think just selling a dozen sunglasses a month doesn't sound like it's crazy. It's kind of what we do here.
We got to cut back production.
I know, what the hell? So thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll be talking to you next week. Cheers.
Cheers.
Peace out.
That was a pretty good podcast, don't you think?